Hey guys, my name is Mankin and welcome back to Remixing from Scratch. Today we're going to be dropping in this second half, so it's a little bit more copying, but it's going to be less than last time. Hopefully I should just be able to actually just copy this entire section. We won't have to worry about lining up as much as we did last time. I just listened through it before starting this recording, and I did notice something that needs to be fixed, but I'll take care of that in a second. So we just have to grab this, I believe, and then just copy all of it right about here. Should be correct, I believe, and copy the automation and just listen to this really quick just to make sure. Okay, so one of the things I actually did miss here was I need to mute all the vocals after here. So we'll just split this here and mute that. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Okay, let's try this again. Mute these. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So let's see here. Okay, what was the next thing I was gonna do? Oh, that's right. So I did actually, like I said, I listened through and I found something that needed to be fixed, and that's the vocal build. We were messing around with the reverse vocals, moving around, kind of tweaking them over here. And sometimes what happens when you select a track is it selects all of the regions on the track. Actually, that's what happens whenever you select a track, unless you have this enabled. Then when you select the track, it only selects what's inside of the locators. So what it sounds like what happened is actually, here, let me play this back just to show you, but it looks like I ended up shortening this when I didn't want to, so I'll just play it back so you can hear. So it's kind of like that small gap there. So I'm just going to go through here and tweak that just a tad, just to get it to fits back in. Open it back up just a little bit, slide it over so we get a little more blend. Sweet. And then I need to double check this other one, make sure that it's still working fine. I believe it's this one. And this one's also having that problem, but it's not as big of a deal, so we'll just pull it over a little bit like we did. Okay, so I should be fine. There we go. And then the other one was already fine because we had kind of lined this up before. Sweet. Okay, so now that we've got the drop, okay, I think some of the automation didn't copy correctly here, so I'm gonna have to go through and check to see what the heck didn't copy. I know it would be the EQ, but let's see what we have. So this would be the I think it's this one. Yeah, it should be this one. So what we have is we need to copy basically all the automation here. That's funny, it should have copied. I don't know why it wouldn't have. Okay, so we'll just delete these, delete, and then maybe I actually needed to copy everything individually here. I don't know. And then just bring that over there. And it still didn't actually ask me if I wanted to copy it, which is, oh, I see. Okay, I need to create an empty MIDI region here because since this is actually automation on the master part here, on the sum, then I need to actually have a region here to copy it. So then I could just drop this over here, and then it will ask me to copy it. So now I can copy it, and everything should be fine. So yeah, let's see. And then I don't think I'm gonna extend this. I might. I could. What should I do? Should I extend it or should I just do the outro? I think I'm going to just start working on the outro. Either way, regardless of whether or not I extend it or work on the outro, I am going to need more kicks. So that should be the right spot. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Actually, you know what I could do? Let's try this. So I want to use which fill? So I want to use this fill first, which means I need to figure out how the heck I'm going to grab it. Okay, so this one starts here, which means I need to grab all these vocal bits, and then I need to grab this, and then I'm not going to grab the hats. So we'll try this, see how this works. This needs to start right here. Copy the automation data, and then I want to use the this one second. So I'll just grab all these here, and I want those, and then that's just, since that's a vocal chop, we don't have to worry about copying something down there. And then I'm gonna drag this over here. How much space do I need between? So that one has those ones, and it's kind of gonna gap. Okay, so I think I need to do this here. Copy that. You can see how this goes. Okay, so now the question is, what am I gonna do here? I could I kind of want to make this minimal, so like pull out some of the stuff that we don't need. Although first of all I need to make sure it's lined up. Okay, my question is that how it is right here? No, it's not. Okay, so it usually starts oh, that one goes longer than usual, so I actually shifted this over wrong. So this needs to be here, move, and then how much of a gap do we have between these? Just one, which should be about right. I think I might actually have that wrong here. So that needs to be halfway through, and it's about halfway through. I think that's right. So here, actually, we could just measure this. Grab these two, drop them here, and then that should end right. Okay. Oh, whoops. I forgot to move these over. So I think that's the right spot. 1, 2, somewhere around there. Yeah, like that. I think I'm missing something here. I am missing something. So I was missing this, which needs to be copy right there, and this needs to be right here. No, not you. This and this needs to be right here. Yeah. Move. Okay. And I think that's right now. Okay. Okay, so I think that placement's how it should be. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's right now, and then I just need to figure out how the heck the... Okay, so that's there, which would mean that's there. So if I put this here, that there, and then this needs to be right like that. Like there? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, so try dropping that there, see what happens. Do. Yeah. Okay, so then we're gonna make that we're gonna make an outro following this. But first of all, I think I need to add one more thing to this. I'm not sure if I'll just like pull out the bass, or here, let's fix the white noise stuff. I think this is white noise that I added. I don't recall correctly. Okay, now, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, what to do here? So what I could do is I could actually just get a thinner bass line and loop it for the rest of the outro. And then I think what I'm going to do I have any hats here? I don't think I actually have any like separate hats. I have a clap. Doesn't look like I have a hat, so I'm just going to find a hat here. Pop open there, go into my samples. And let's see if I can find a hat here. Just drop in this one, hi-hats. There should be one somewhere around here. There we go, I'll go with this. And then I just need to take this, get the gain, -12, and then move this over here and just do a whole ton of copying. And then we should be squared away and ready to, I don't know, maybe swap over to the intro and start doing something there. Okay, so we have the kick is there, so we need to make this on the offbeat, and then we'll just continue doing this for ages. Loop, yep, and then copy this, and then we'll copy all this, and we should be good. So this, there we go. Okay, sounds terrible. I need reverb on this, so I'll send this to bus 2, just cause. And I'm actually gonna EQ this right now because I don't like how harsh it sounds. So there we go. And this all it did was just take a little bit of that harshness out. So not that big of an EQ there, but it was kind of bugging me. So I could probably pull it just a little bit more down. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Not that much messing around with it worth doing. So, okay, so now, and then I think I'll drop the clap in that we had earlier onto the track. Now, if I could find it, this would be the clap, I believe. Nope. There's our clap. So we'll grab this and we'll just bring it over here. Drop it right there, and then we'll copy it for another bar or another section, I guess it would be, because that would be more than a bar. And actually, you know what? That overshoots it. Oh, if I could talk right. So let me just undo that. There we go. And then you can just run, in my case, I think I'm just gonna run this bass line over this. I did actually line this up a little bit wrong though, so I need to actually take this here and shift it over so it's not here, but it's here. Yeah, so it starts at the right spot. And then I'm just gonna pull this over here and make this the outro finale thing, I think. If I can get this to line up right. How did I have it lined up? Okay, so I just pull this over like that, I'm guessing. Something like that. No, that is definitely wrong. Okay, so let's try this again. I hate copying like groups like this because it's so painful figuring out how the heck you're supposed to line them up. So I'll just do this, and then I'll do what? That. And now I just need a crash. I don't think I have an actual regular direction crash here. I think I have a reverse one. There's my reverse. There's my reverse. So I'll just find another crash here. And let's see. Crashes. Okay, let's see. Eeny, meeny. Okay, we'll just use this one. Drop it down here. And then what I'm going to do is two things, other than just dropping the volume, obviously. So drop the gain down to 16, negative 16 there. Then I'm going to take the delay, go to sample delay like we usually do just to make it nice and stereo. Bring that up to like 505 or something. And it should sound like... Wow, that was in the wrong spot. There. And then I need to turn this not all the way down, but quite a ways down because it needs to be in the background. And let's see. And then what we'll do here is do a delay, stereo delay, and just make this a quarter note so that it goes like kind of like this. And turn it up a little, turn the reverb up quite a bit so you kind of get more reverb. And then I think we need a kick drum like right here too. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll throw a clap right there. And a kick. What the heck? Go all the way. Put a kick there. Except I'm going to take this clap now, duplicate the clap track, and move this one down here. And then I'm going to make this one have a ton of reverb, if I could do this right. Reverb space designer, bring it in stereo, and then put my trance reverb preset on here. Okay, and because this crash is so gosh darn long, I'm just going to fade it out so it doesn't go on for days. And see if I could make this visible. And fade out. Just going to fade out over this massive part here. And see how that sounds. There we go. And then we just put the end of the project about here. But before we actually mark the end of the project, we need to do an intro. And it kind of, I don't know what kind of intro I want to do with this one, just because the way that the vocals are structured on this caused us to like have really, you notice that like typically you could start, you could zoom out here and like this will be the start of a section. You could actually like look at these parts here, these as you zoom out, the different parts that become sections, and as you lose detail. So if you zoom in here, you'll notice that you could actually like line up with this. But if you zoom out here to like the farthest out you could get, typically you should actually be able to like go to here and be like, oh, this is a section, and then this one will be a section, and just go to each of these beginning lines, and typically it marks out the beginning of a section. But because the way the vocals were laid out originally, it kind of like messed things up and shifted everything in weird places. I tried to fix it a little bit early on, but it's, at this point it's still kind of like weird. So understanding that, it'd be kind of like, it'd be very difficult to kind of know exactly what's going on when you're mixing it as a DJ. Just because all the placement is so weird and abnormal. So I don't know if it's worth bothering to add an intro just for the sake of making it easy to mix. Because like I said, it's going to be hard to mix anyway. So I don't know. I could do this. Something like that. Let's see. Actually, I could take this here. Split this here. Delete that and actually find where that part that goes out here is the reverse vocals. So vocal reverse, grab this here, and then it would be on the opposite side of the spectrum, right around here. So of course I just realized it's actually the main vocals, not the background vocals. So we need to actually make another track here for the reverse background vocals and just go like this. We just actually want this beginning section here. Everything else is unimportant. So I could do this just to make things easier. Take this, convert to new audio file, I believe. Actually, you know what? I might be able to just reverse this section. Nah, we'll just convert it to a new audio file just to make things more obvious. Background vocal, reverse, and then save that. Whoop-de-doo. And then just get this. File, functions, reverse, and then it just moved this section, I believe. So I'm gonna have to reline this up. Okay, so I could actually just take this, shrink that just a tiny bit, and then fade it in. How far do I need it? Right about, we'll put it there. So it kind of goes like this. Okay, and actually I'm kind of tempted to fade this in and then out, so we could do this. Put it right about there, and then put that right there. Okay, see how that sounds. Static electricity. Okay, sorry that I didn't kind of talk about what I was doing there. I was just kind of extending it because as it was, it kind of felt like it was, you could actually feel it disappearing and there not being enough stuff. So I extended it out a little bit more so we could kind of, so it kind of just faded in and faded out and it didn't feel like you were thinning something out actually. So I think we actually might just leave it at this by way of the structure. And I could take everything and shift it over, but I don't think it matters all that much. Let's see. So the track actually ends where? It actually ends right around. Okay, so we'll mark it right here. This will be our endpoint, so we could actually slide all this over here. Just kind of make things easier. This is like, I like to use this to kind of mark the ends of my projects just because. Although you don't have to, it just kind of makes things easier for me to see. And then I could get rid of all this overhang. Actually, let's just do that. I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. And this one is actually, all we're looking at with this one was the one we used to like pull stuff out for the vocal chop. So we don't really need to delete that. It's just kind of for reference. That's the only reason it's there. Okay. I think at this point, it actually might be worth playing back everything here just to make sure we have everything's like clean. It doesn't sound like we didn't actually accidentally mess up something in the beginning. Like, I was talking about when you rearrange regions, sometimes you're grabbing multiple regions and it messes stuff up earlier in the track. So I think I'm just going to play it back from the very beginning here that we just made, and then we'll kind of decide if anything needs to be tweaked. I'll probably just end this episode right after that because I don't want to go into mastering quite yet. I want to actually have a separate video dedicated to doing that, just so that people can actually pull that one up and just have the mastering, not any arrangement and stuff like that. So that's actually kind of for your guys' convenience. But I will play this back from the beginning here, and if there's anything that needs to be fixed, we'll go in and fix that for this one. But otherwise, pretty much after this, we're just going to be doing fixing the mix down and the mastering. So I kind of do those hand in hand just because I'll talk about it right now, why I do that, because it's worth touching on. When you pull on a compressor or a limiter to your master chain, things will start to stand out that you didn't really notice before, and you'll go back into the mix to fix it. And so that's the reason I actually don't do my final mix and then master, just because like the balancing of levels becomes a lot more apparent when you start to throw the master limiter on there and stuff like that. So that is why I actually do the final mix down and the mastering in the same stage. A lot of people say that you actually should split it up, so like you mix it as best as you can and then you go to master. I agree that makes sense, but personally for me, I found that I can actually find a couple other things in my mix down that need to be tweaked once I start mastering it. So it's up to you. It's just kind of which one you like better. So without further ado, I'm just gonna play this back here and we'll listen to the whole track, see if we can find any issues with it.
Static electricity, your touch moving to the sound. Your lips are all I need. When the music comes around, you bring up the energy and never bring it down. I wasn't sure of destiny until you came around. Static electricity, your touch moving to the sound. Your lips are all I need. When the music comes around, tick tock, not gonna waste a day. I'm gonna live it up. The beat echoing in my ear while I'm staring at the clock.
Okay, so you could probably tell that I tweaked a couple things while I was playing back there. I need to check this one actually because I was just trying to tweak it without actually stopping the playback. So I did turn down some of the reverse crash effects and also the reverse vocal build effect because they were too loud.
Music comes around. You bring up the energy.
There's supposed to be more background sound, so that's why I did that. And then I'm going to play this back here to make sure. I noticed that one of the notes hung over basically the the section here, and I don't really want that. I just kind of wanted them to, because you could hear them when it's when we're basically exiting the drop, and it sounds really nasty. So I'm gonna see if I fixed it, and I might need to shorten them a bit more. But let's see.
Static electricity, your touch moving to the
I think because I reduced the volume of that vocal build. Let's see here. Okay. So this one here I think is quieter than the other ones. I could just double check here. Yeah, okay, so I could actually pull this one back up. Let's see what the other ones were at. This one was it was actually at the full volume, so I could pull this one back up now that I reduced the volume of all the vocal builds. So theoretically, this should work better.
static electricity. Static electricity, your touch moving to the sound. Your lips are all I need.
Okay, and I think that pretty much wraps up everything that we're going to do. Now, keep in mind, the beginning of our project is not actually here. So, is that going to become a problem later? No, because the way bouncing works, if you haven't bounced a lot of stuff and had to adjust things, you can actually bounce sections. So what I'll do is I'll figure out where I want to start it, and then I'll make my start point there, and then I'll just end it at the end, which is currently, I think it's marked up here, what, 110, I believe. So when I bounce it, it'll actually be fine. Yeah, at 110. So so we won't have to worry about that too much. We just have to make sure that we know exactly where we want it to start, which would probably be here. I mean, what I might do is I might actually just like line this up so that like, can I pull this out more this way? Yeah, I actually can. There we go. So I could actually slide this over this way and make it start at a convenient place for me. So like right here would probably be a convenient place to start. And then I could actually just fade this one out over a longer period because I kind of like it hanging out a bit more. So put that there and let's see how that sounds.
Static electricity.
Now, what I am going to do with this, because it's actually kind of bugging me a little, it starts to thin out like I was talking before. So I'm just going to actually take this and do this here. So we get a crossfade basically.
Static electricity.
And then we can take this one and turn it down a little bit so it doesn't sound as overwhelming.
Static electricity.
So it kind of doesn't sound like it's thinning out. It just kind of sounds like it fades in and then kind of stays full and then goes into the rest of the track. So I think I'm going to end this here because like I said, we pretty much wrapped this whole thing up. Like I said, it's not my best track ever. I mean, you guys have heard some of my stuff, so you kind of know that this is not my best track, but at the same time, it's not really in my style either, so this whole thing was an experiment. Next one, I'm going to do something that's a lot more in my style, so I won't have to worry about, you know, running into stuff where I have no idea what to do. And also, hopefully, I'll get a better vocal track that's so it's not, like, as weirdly placed, because, like, the timing on this is just terrible. Normally, it's a lot easier to place things than to copy things. It's just, the way that the vocals are laid out, it just kind of messes with you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about before I go into the next video here. So hang tight and hold on, wait for that one. If you are interested in learning about mastering, and because I know I haven't done a video on mastering, and a lot of people have asked me about it, and I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to fit it in my mastering EDM series. So I figured this will tide you over. It's not going to be like a complete guide to what you should do for mastering, but I'm going to talk a lot about mastering in the next video and really what you should be looking for and everything like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. Like I said, we're going to be wrapping up in one, maybe two videos for this series, and then we're going to go on to the next track eventually. I don't know if I'm going to take a little break before I go on to the next track. We'll see. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.